A toxicologist, a pharmacologist, and a bioanalytical chemist walk into the OPCW. The OPCW shows them a video of an alleged chemical attack and asks them what sort of symptoms they see. Could they tell what gas it was? The specialists all look at the video and agree on one answer, and the rest is classified, or was classified.
It was agreed among all present that the key takeaway message from the meeting was that the symptoms observed were inconsistent with exposure to chlorine, and no other obvious candidate chemical causing the symptoms could be identified.
Another day, another leak, another embarrassment, and another blow to the OPCW's credibility. They knew the rebel video was questionable. Didn't find any nerve agent, any chlorine in quantities sufficient to indicate a chemical attack. Nothing, but they wouldn't admit it. We know of at least one person at the OPCW who's very selective about what gets saved and what gets deleted.
Please get this document out of Documents Registry Archive, and please remove all traces, if any, of its delivery, storage, whatever, in Documents Registry Archive.
That was from Sebastian Braha, France's representative to the OPCW. In that email, he demands the deletion of a technical report which concluded that the gas canisters most likely weren't dropped from the air by Assad's aircraft, but placed at the scene, obviously placed by someone, staged.
They tried not just to exclude certain information, but bury it completely, expunge it from their own archive. That is not the scientific method, is it? People don't just bury or delete and actually delete all traces of a report. That is the smoking gun of a cover-up. And now we see the capture and the politicization of the OPCW. What's really encouraging, though, is we have people within the organisation that are willing to try and get the truth out.
The OPCW is out of its depth here in terms of PR and diplomacy. In the past, they've been a quiet organisation. You remember, they even won the Nobel Prize, professionally getting on with their work. But they appear to have been subverted and led astray, if you like. And they've gone into this uncharted waters where now I think from a PR perspective, they're finding it difficult to cope. And in the past, if the past three leaks, because this is a fourth leak now of documents, if the past three leaks are a guide, they will, as they've done in the past, simply double down and be in denial, as indeed is the whole, pretty much, of the Western, especially the US, UK media, in not actually investigating or acknowledging the truth that is now actually seeming to be emerging.
There's not enough time to run through everything that the OPCW edited out, every corner they cut, every piece of evidence they twisted to make Assad look guilty, like excluding all but one of their investigators who went to Syria from writing the report, deleting contradictory witness testimony, classifying and keeping secret victims' toxicology reports, bringing in American intelligence agents to lecture chemists. 24 employees suspected unprofessionalism, fraud, or even foul play, according to leaked emails. But the boss, he stuck to his guns.
While some of these diverse views continue to circulate in certain public discussion fora, I would like to reiterate that I stand by the impartial and professional conclusions reached by the fact-finding mission.
You know who disagrees with him? The first Director General of the OPCW, who has co-signed an open letter calling on the organization to let people who they've gagged speak out. With every leak, the story gets bigger, more scandalous, which may not be the impression you get on TV or in the big papers. It's all OPCW defends its report and hits back at whistleblowers. Many of the people writing these, they're scared. There's only so much that they're allowed to write.
Many editors and many journalists aren't even aware of the propaganda, so what will take place is they'll be told, oh no, this is all just rubbish. Look at this Bellingcat article, and maybe some that are aware that they are dubious and they're not to be trusted. I think there's probably too much risk involved in them for them to say, listen, we shouldn't be trusting them. You know, what I showed that took place at Newsweek, I think takes place at many organisations where you've got editors and possibly senior reporters where they go and work in these think tanks that are related, that they're cultivating relationships with US State Department officials or heads of different political organizations. And I think what that starts to do is it becomes a conflict of interest.
This is the new OPCW. It is no longer about finding the truth, establishing what happened molecule by molecule. Now it picks which molecule to show and which to hide. Now the OPCW synthesizes chemical guilt, literally, out of thin air.
We've asked the OPCW to confirm whether or not the latest revelations are indeed true. So far, they have not responded.